So now the trick of this is that there is an inside and outside. This is going to be the inside, and this is the outside. So this is a brand new seal, nice soft rubber. You can push on your finger. When they get old, they get brittle and they don't bend. They don't seal anymore. They just turn into hard rubber. And so the easiest way to do this is, and we're going to tap it in with a hammer, but if you tap on this thing with a hammer, this is going to bend. So you got to support it. So the easiest way to do this is just with a piece of wood, and we might have to break a piece of wood off here. Okay, so and I really didn't have a narrow piece of wood, so I improvised a little bit. I've got this one piece here, goes all the way across the table, but it's just so you're going to support this surface while you tap the new one in. And you can double check your work on the back side, make sure she's all the way seated, and give it a couple more taps on just to make sure she's even. And I'll show you how even it is, nice and even, and she's completely seated on the backside, and you've just now put you a new seal in your timing cover. And check out UncleBuckStuff.com. There's a link down below. This is the new Uncle Buckweiser t-shirts that just come out. I got them all the way up to 4X, and I got them in white and gray, and I'm working for a different design for a blue and a black shirt. So check it out. Link down below. Y'all have a great day. Okay. I took the Harmon balancer and I spun it around a couple times, and she's smooth and normal. Okay, so, but I lined it back up to number 1 top dead center. Right there, number 1 top dead center. Okay, so the next thing is the timing cover. And why the timing cover? Because you can't put the oil pan on without having the timing cover in place. It's kind of like one of those you have to do. Okay, so now that we have a new seal in the timing cover, we got to get the gasket and the gasket sealer out. And this is what the timing cover gasket looks like, and it actually just goes right in here in place, but we're going to silicone this. And there's dowel pins here on both sides where you can't get it in the wrong place. And this is unisex. There's no right or wrong, front or back there. But I always just have been in the mind of a blue stripe. If you have a blue stripe, which this is, you can see the stripes on it, always put the stripes out facing you. That's what I've always done. And we're just going to use a little simple black RTV in here, and we'll break this open. And this is one of those that's so cheap that it didn't even come with a little end on it. So we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. That's right. Now this doesn't have to be a lot. Just enough to basically stick it, because there isn't a lot of oil pressure involved here. There's slingage. I mean, it's going to sling oil through here, but what's going to be slinging the oil is going to be the timing chain itself. Because it just basically sits in a bath of the oil down here. So there isn't any pressure involved. You're just trying to keep your engine bay clean. I don't put it on heavy. I just basically, you're putting it on just enough to get the gasket to stick. And you can just stick it in place and use the dowel pins to hold it where it needs to go, just like this. All right, line it up with the holes. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to take the RTV and we're going to spread it on this side of the paper too. Then we'll put the timing cover on. And, of course, me being the saver that I am, I have lots of these little bolts everywhere. And we'll just get some gas. Now, some guys will take this gasket and do this before they stick it on. It's 6 of one, half a dozen other. That's all it is. It's just your own personal preference of what you've done or what your dad showed you. And that's really the sad part about this. There's a lot of young guys out there that don't have a dad showing them this kind of stuff. And so it kind of makes me proud to know that I can help out some of the younger set, because according to my demographics, I get 10% of my demographics is 13 to 17-year-olds. The rest of you guys, other percentages are higher with everybody up all the way up to 65 years old. But I'm very popular with the younger gentlemen, but they're learning, but they want to learn. They just, some of them don't have the they're not lucky enough to have a father or a father figure around, or to teach them how to do just general basic maintenance on a car. Wipe our hands off because silicone gets everywhere. And then we're gonna put this on. Use the dowel pins, press it in place. See, silicone gets everywhere. Shoot. Okay. We want it clean. Even though this is kind of a goofy build, we still want it clean. So, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just 10 bolts, 10 little small 7/16 small ones. They got their 7/16 headed. Yeah, see, silicone gets everywhere. Anyways, so I'll clean my hands some more, and we'll get these bolts put in. Okay, now even though we got the one-piece rubber oil pan gasket that we trimmed this side for, we are still going to give this some silicone. And it's going to be, because these are, even though it's a one-piece seal, these are still problematic. So we're going to go silicone the whole perimeter, up and over, and especially block. Now the pan, probably not. Okay, so I've just always, even though this is a one-piece, I've got silicone underneath the whole perimeter, but I've always still put silicone for the pan rounds, because that seems to be the biggest problem. And so we're going to use these little funky dunky little corner pieces, pan holders, and basically, if I understand how these work correctly, you just kind of like wiggle it on, and remember, you got to come in from the front because of the oil pump pickup. Yep, and then you just put it on the studs. Just wiggle it to get it on, just like that, and then you just press, and it locks it in place. Wow, that works pretty good. So now it comes with, because this was a one piece, it comes in a kit, and all the new nuts, all the new bolts, and the star washers are in the kit, so we can go ahead and put them on. Okay, pans on, and these are all supposed to bend inch, pound, torquage. We ain't doing all that. They're just hand tight, good solid hand tight, and I work from the inside out. So you start with these two, go to these two, just like a cylinder head. You just work yourself way out, and tighten the outside edges last. Wiped off the extra silicone, but them little one-piece jobbers, they're pretty cool. They work pretty good, and you can see, where everything is sitting with oil filter adapter on, and I always put them with the valve, the pressure valve on the back side, because this is where the oil is coming from and going back to. So I just always like to leave as much space open in, because it seems like that kind of shrouds it a little bit. So I always just put them in that way.